I will specifically go through the system that I implemented, every marketing piece, every touch point, every single point of the system. I know I've shared it before on these calls, but I think it would be helpful. It was helpful for me to see exactly what someone else was doing so that I could take what I was doing and refine it.
Are
So
you
if
are
you guys
you
feel
are you talking about when you get somebody that say a new listing or a new buyer under
both,
contract,
I have both. I have a
or,
system for
or
everything,
when somebody new comes into your database?
all of it. And
Oh,
that's the point, is that for forever I
Yeah.
ran my business not just kind of like being reactive to some people would get this
oh, like
experience,
me.
some people would get this, some people would get, like if you were a friend or family, your experience was completely different if you is from that of a referral. And so my biggest referrers weren't getting as the same experience that the people I didn't know were getting because they knew me. And so whatever. Now, from the moment you become a client, you're getting, I have my TCs sending, specific emails that we've dialed together so that their communication is consistent. When they go under contract, they get something when they go under contract. When we pass our due diligence deadline, I ordered these moving boxes with my photo and my info on the side of them, super cheaply.
BizBox,
Say that again.
BizBox.
BizBox. So I ordered a thing of Biz boxes, and then I went to Harbor Freight. I actually ordered online from Harbor Freight a bunch of moving supplies. And so I don't give them moving boxes when they're moving. I give them one box where I fold it in the sides and I put like a moving blanket, a mattress cover, tape, pens, bubble wrap, paper, they get a moving box with my image on it and my information, and it's full of moving supplies, and I go deliver it, or I have my daughter or someone go deliver a box of moving supplies to them when their due diligence deadline expires, because now it's time to start packing. And so they're getting like these curated, and then every minky blanket and a gift card when they close. For forever, my closing gifts were inconsistent. And I know that I'm going to go to Minky every time I'm running low on blankets, and I'm going to go to their sale page and I'm going to buy this little travel size minky blanket. They're $35 and it fits so I have I know exactly what I'm doing every time. So I have two clients right now that, yes, my daughter can't do it. So I'm going to have to go do it. And I've got to put those boxes together and go get them over to them this weekend. And in the past, I'd be like, but that's something I should be paying someone else to do. Well, guess what? They live 5 minutes from me. It's not a big deal for me to make sure that I hit the touch points in the system and that their client experience is the exact same as every other client, so that when they refer someone to me and that person's like, oh my gosh, she brought me this moving box with all these supplies, they're like, yeah, me too. Isn't that cool that she does it? And they're having the same experience. Mm-hmm. I just hired a showing agent who hopefully will turn into a buyer's agent. And when she turns into a buyer's agent, same things. She's going to order boxes from BizBox one time. They should last her a couple years. And she's going to follow the system so that if she's on my team and I'm referring her clients, they're going to have the same experience that they have working with me. So you hear that that's important, but where this became important to me is when my revenue went up by 33% in 1 year, because there was intentionality, organization, and a detailed plan that took the stress and took the pressure. I just know what is happening here, what's happening here, and anything that I can have automated so they get every one of my SOI. As soon as you become a referral or a client, you go into my list of SOI, and every month you're getting a postcard with the 2-for-1 lunch or 2-for-1 cookie from Boomerang DM. So now if you're in my system, you're getting a postcard every single month. You're also getting an email every month from HomeBot telling you what your estimated value is. And I get a really high open rate on my email.
It does have a high open
It
rate.
has a really high open rate and a really high response rate. So they're getting a touch point from me there. They're also getting a monthly email from me that's automated through Bold Trail. So Bold Trail's sending them a really beautiful newsletter every month. And then
Through who?
It's Bold Trail. That's my CRM that I use. It used to be KV Core, and now they're called Bold Trail.
Oh,
it used to be what?
KV Core.
Oh,
And it's called Bold Trail. And
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people using Bold Trail lately, so
it's awesome. It's awesome. But it's like I don't pay for it. It's a part of my system. So I don't have to pay out of pocket for it.
you're not paying for the CRM?
No, because we just use Bold Trail. I used it at Remax. That's who Remax used, and EXP uses it too. So that's our CRM that we get through
Oh,
our
okay.
brokerage.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So it's included in my split essentially. And then what else? I mean, they're detailed, but it's all I have it all written out. I have you been on a call before, Joanna, where I've had my operations manual that I wrote out of like,
No,
okay,
I think
so
that would be great.
I have all this stuff. It's written out. I go back to it and I review it. I have to update it and tweak things as things change. But if I'm accountable to the system that I set up and then I modify it as things change, like I need to go in and physically write in that now I'm doing just listed and just sold to my SOI, every SOI address that I have on every listing. So I implemented it, but I have to go write it into my system and make sure that I'm keeping it updated because that's what business owners do. That's what business operators
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
They run a business that's profitable. And the goal for me is to become the CEO of my business where I'm not the operator anymore. I'm the CEO and I have agents below me. And in the past, when I would think of a team, it sounded exhausting. But I'm like, I don't think it's as exhausting if you get to the point where you can monetize people trying to manage people without a system is a nightmare. Trying to teach them what you did as a real estate agent to become successful is a nightmare. You can't teach them to be you. How do you tell? But if you have a system that they can run and operate from, and their client experience is awesome because you've curated an awesome client experience, then they can execute a system that you created and they can pay you a fee to be plugged into your system. And if you get enough agents doing that, it's math. How many agents operating on a system where I could get on a Zoom call like this with them once a week and coach them and mentor them and be like, are you following the system? There's so many programs now that have been developed in real estate for people to be accountable to you, where it's not the same running a team as it used to be. You can really leverage a lot of things if you'll just take the time to learn it and free up a lot of time for yourself. So even if you're like, look, I'm going to cherry pick who I want to work with in my business, and I'm going to get really good at using my system to generate leads. And then I'm going to send those leads to another agent and they're going to pay me a split of everything that they're doing. And that's bonus income. I need to work with this many clients for me, and I'm going to enjoy the clients I work with. I'm done being a slave to people I don't want to work with. I'm going to enjoy the people I work with, and then I'm going to monetize and leverage another agent, and I'm going to teach them exactly what I do. And if they're going to get my leads, they're going to pay me a split and they're going to do what I do. And they're going to give these people I'm referring them a great experience so that I know that they're going to convert them and that they're going to make them repeat clients. Then I'm giving back to someone else. I've got that contribution going on and I'm earning more income for myself that I don't have to be out showing homes and going on listing appointments for people that are 30 minutes away from where I live. And like, I'm not driving to Payson anymore for a listing appointment. I'm referring that out because I know that I can meet my financial needs with the stuff that I'm keeping with my prime people. And then everything else, instead of burning out and letting it fall to the wayside and letting leads slip through the cracks, I'm going to be a CEO and a business owner. And I am going to turn those leads into a little bit of money for me. And then you just get better. Once you start doing it, it gets easier and you get better and better and better at, like, I don't know if you'll relate to this, but at an open house or when I have a listing, I know that for years I let so many leads slip through the cracks because I didn't have time to deal with them. I didn't even want a QR code on my sign because I didn't have time to really, like, I just would let stuff slip because I was kind of burnt out in certain areas. Now, like just this week, I had a lead call on a listing, just a unrepresented buyer, talked to her for 10 minutes, scheduled an appointment. I'm having Taylor do this one, but I scheduled an appointment for her for Tuesday night. And I texted and I told her, Taylor on my team is going to come meet you. Luckily, I know his schedule, so I knew he was free. And I texted Taylor, hey, you have an appointment with this girl. I'm going to send a group text with her and her husband. Go meet them on Tuesday night, and Taylor and I are, What do you
Oh,
call it? Taylor?
don't worry. I'm still paying her a referral fee on both of these. Don't you
Well,
guys worry.
and he says that, but also like we share a household, and so it's a little bit different. But for the intent of what I'm saying, you're sending it to someone who's going to pay a referral fee, and you're all you've done is talk to the client on the phone, set the expectations, set up an appointment. And if you have 3 agents on your team, you can call the first one and say, hey, are you available for a listing appointment on Tuesday night? No, you're not. Next one, hey, are you available for a listing appointment on Tuesday? Or you send it out to the whole team. Who's available for a listing appointment on Tuesday night at 6 p.m.? It's in Payson. And someone texts back, great, you responded first. I'm going to start a group text with the husband, the wife, and you're going to go meet with them. They called me about this listing, and they're open to Lehigh, Riverton. These are the areas they're open to looking at. And you've just in 10 minutes created a $2,000 paycheck for yourself that you don't have to think about again. So we overcomplicate, and I overcomplicated it for years and years and years, watching these teams function a certain way. But the team of the future is it's referral fees. It's not 50-50 splits where you're a broker and a manager and dealing with everything going on. It's leveraging the business that you would let fall by the wayside so that you can get referral fees without having to give up any more time than 10 minutes. I mean, who wants to make 2,000 extra dollars because they spent 10 minutes on the phone fielding a call that came in, an inbound call that you didn't even have to prospect out? Right? And so once you get your systems in place and once you get clear on exactly what the client experience is and clear on who is your client, who is a client that you are going to work with, what does that look like? What are the parameters where you're going to refer a client out to someone on your team? And it doesn't even have to be an official team. Like Joanna, you could be like, hey, Sean, where do you live?
Right here by the office.
Okay, so let's pretend Joanna still lived in Lehigh and she gets a listing for Fort Union area and it's like a $450,000 listing. And she has a rule that if she's going to drive to Fort Union, it needs to be a $700,000 listing or higher. She's going to text you, Sean, like he's not even on your team. He's just an agent you refer to. Hey, are you available for a listing appointment in Fort Union at 6 p.m. on Tuesday night? We overcomplicate this. It doesn't need to be so complicated. We just need to make more money and leverage our time so that we can enjoy our lives more. That's all it is, you know? And so it starts with having everything written out.
Is your TC internally on your team or somebody that's you're outsourcing or?
I'm outsourcing my TC. So I use
Open to close.
what's it called? Who do I use?
Open to close.
Open to close. So it's Jennifer Gray, JG
Yeah.
Coordinating. It's JG Coordinating is who I use. I'm going to share my screen with you though, since we ended up talking about this, which I think is great. I am going to show you what I have, how I did this. So I'm just going to get it pulled up and then I'll share it with you.
Taylor, you look good going down the road, by the way.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Very stylish.
Side note, Erin said the other day, she's like, I kind of like the cop uniform. And then I just got the mustache going. I'm
I
like,
said
hold on
something
there.
about
I was gonna ask you about that.
and he shaved a mustache the same day. He's like, do I look like a cop?
Little suspect there.
I like the
One-
sunglasses.
Thank you. Thank you.
They're pretty big.
They are. I know. I gotta make sure the sun doesn't come in from all angles.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
almost
right.
filled with these.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here's my this is my generic one. This is not my personal one. This is the one that I share with people. And I'm going to send you to a website with a code to download this for free so that you can have a copy of this and you can create your own. I think it's a Canva template that you can change and add your own stuff to if you want to. So this is the real estate team's operations manual and it's everything. When I created this the first time, I did not have any concept of a team happening at all. So step one for me was writing out what it would look like if I had a team and what it would look like to grow a team. So we've got culture, job-specific training, roles of the team, performance evaluations, our systems and checklists, This was the very first one I did. I've changed it since, but I leave this one as a template so that you can create your own thing from it. Okay. So culture. This talks specifically about the culture and values, positive mental attitude, what it means to be a peak performer and have raving fans, contribution, how we are in a contribution setting and we don't take on the team, we give. We have fun, fun, fun. We invest in ourselves and we are all working toward financial freedom. So that's my team rules and values right there. And if I don't live by that, how am I going to create a team where, that's the culture I want to be in every day? And so that's the expectation. Characteristics of a team player. What does it mean to be a part of my team? Even if that means that Joanna and Sean, you're a part of my team and I'm referring you business up there and you're still a solo agent doing your own thing. But in order to be a part of what I'm doing, like, we are team players and we're efficient, honest, organized, aggressive. We follow through. We're intelligent. We're analytical. We're detail oriented. We're persistent and we're proactive. Because if I'm giving you leads and I'm leading you and you're then giving people leads and you're leading people, you have to be a leader, if you're going to take on this role of like, I'm going to run my business and I'm going to be intentional about it. And I'm going to work with a few key people. You're going to bless their lives if you will step into the role of leadership and think outside the box and do this different than other people. You will have people asking you later on how you're making so much money and you have so much free time. That's because I didn't do things like everyone else. I did things different in a way that worked for me. And I created a life intentionally, right? So these are rules for immediate dismissal. If you've brought on a real estate agent partner and they're lazy, they're negative, they're dramatic, they gossip, like blame, they're just immediately, they are not the right fit for what you're doing, right? They're not employed by you. You're not their boss, but they are not a right fit for what you are building if they bring any kind of negative energy into what you're building. And there's a lot here, right? Why? Because it's important, and it's important to be clear on what your culture is and the integrity of your business, even if you're working with people who aren't employed by you. So doing the right thing, doing your best, and showing others that you care. Because also, if you get to the point where you are sending personal clients of yours, your clients' children that want to buy a house for $400,000, and you're like, I don't want to drive 45 minutes for a $400,000 deal, but it's one of my best clients and it's their kid. What do I do? You ensure that you have people who your values are instilled in and you can trust, handing off an agent partner this lead that's very important to you. So that's why this stuff matters. Job specific training. So this is for, like, I'm looking at, if I were to build a full team, how would this work? Here's my first 90-day training. Here's the roles of the team. What does it mean to be a great team leader? I'm the team leader. So what characteristics do I need to have in order to be a great team leader? I have to make sure that my transaction coordination partner is awesome, knowing that they fit into this culture, right? Everyone that you partner with, your lenders, your title companies, your TCs, anyone that you partner with in your business has to be a fit for your culture, because that's where you will thrive, is when you have people who are in it the same way you are. It will make everything thrive, and you still don't have any payroll. You're running this real estate team where you're not anyone's boss and you have no payroll, which is magnificent. Role of the president. You're also the president of your company. And there's a lot of information in here: the mission, the outcomes, the job description. We attract people who fit these roles, responsibilities, critical drivers, and then roles of the team lead. So at some point, is it realistic that you're going to get to a point in your business that you really want to hand off this leadership role that you've been in to maybe an agent who's been doing this with you for 3 years, and they're ready for it. They're ready for the responsibility. And now they can take maybe you're like, hey, you're going to get 10% of every deal that closes of team referrals out, and I'm going to get 15%. But now you're going to start to make some residual income. That's super realistic for someone who's hungry, who loves leadership, to say, cool, I'll take 10% of everything and take over some of what you're doing. And then if you get an administrative assistant at some point to take over even more, you can increase the splits for people if you're offering more, right? And so if you're doing things in your own business that it's easy to plug into these other agents, maybe they'd be willing to pay you a 30% split or a 35% split if they're getting photos included or some administrative help included, like social media marketing. And then this is the roles of the agent. So any agent that you decide to partner with, they need to be able to fulfill this role. They need to, this is performance evaluations. And if it's not like a true team, maybe you're just doing this evaluation on your own mentally with each of your agents to see, is this truly a good partner for me? Is this someone that I should keep sending leads to? Are they converting the leads that I'm sending them? Are they hungry? Are they going after it? Is this a good fit? And evaluating that and then having conversations with them about it. And then systems and checklists. So the software, what software are you using? What software is integral to your system working, right? So getting clear on what are all your pieces of software. And I do a lot of stuff that, like, I have a lot of systems on here that you may not need because I am a tech nerd and I love it. So you don't necessarily need all of this, but this was everything that I was looking at when I built this out. Do I need this? Do I need this? A flow chart for buyers, in-office appointment first. I can tell you I do a lot of Zoom appointments now because my buyers prefer Zoom over meeting an appointment. I do have a little buyer packet and bag at my office that if we meet in person, I can give them a little bag. If we meet on Zoom, I skip that. So doing the pre-qual with them, the next steps. This is all stuff that we know internally, but I've written it all out so that we make sure we don't miss any steps. And so that if I bring an agent partner on, I'm saying, make sure you don't miss these steps. And it's consistent from me to the agent that they're meeting with. It's a consistent experience.
Well, Erin, real quick too, even when, like, I've been on your buyer presentation via Zoom, and even on that you have a system of like what you go over, the order, how, like, it's not just a random Zoom meeting of like, hey, let's talk about what you want. You have a system on that as well.
It's my checklist. And I'm not saying I do every bullet point. You guys know this. I have it written out and then I work from that just like you would a script. You know, you learn the script so that you know what to say in an appointment and it flows. It's the same thing with this. And then client relationships. So some people prospect and call their clients and do the check-in. All my prospecting is centered around my client events and client gifts that I do. So I made a decision years ago that outside of a few like little mailer things that I do, all my marketing money was going to go back into my clients and I was not going to pay for leads. Instead of paying Zillow $1,000 a month, I was going to spend $1,000 a month on my clients in the form of client events or sending them gift cards or stopping by and dropping off gifts. And I was going to spend all my marketing money on my clients. And that has paid off in a huge way for me. And so every year in January, we have a meeting to talk about what we're doing that year for our client gifts and experiences. And so this isn't from this year. This is an old one. But we talk about which holidays do we want to like, and this might just be top 20 clients, right? So this Mother's Day, it's not 200 or 300 people in my SOI. It's like 20 of my top clients. Father's Day golf balls, that's like 20 top people. That's the pool party would be everyone. We did a bingo event last year. Everyone was invited, but we had an RSVP and we let people know it would max out and they had to register before it filled up. Christmas cards, office event, and then monthly they get this Boomerang DM mail coupon, a HomeBot email, and a newsletter email. So it's the things I told you earlier are exactly what's written in here. Like when I'm saying it, it's because that's actually what's happening consistently. And then we have a procedure for exiting the team, which I think is huge. So every person that decides to join a team at some point is going to exit the team. And I believe that one of the biggest mistakes team leaders make is thinking that people aren't going to leave their team and making people feel bad for leaving their team. Because what if they could stay a partner forever? So in the very beginning, when I'm hiring someone, I have a conversation about when they are ready to leave the team, when they're ready to no longer be doing this, depending on what our agreement is. That's awesome. I have a certain number of agents that I like to have relationships with. For me, it's 3. if you are going to leave and you're no longer interested in doing this because life has changed for you, which it will you give me a month's notice so that I have time to find a new agent partner? And if it's like an administrative assistant, when you're ready to leave, will you let me know? Because I would like you to help train the new person coming in. So I just need notice. And I think like for so many actual teams that hire people and do that, their turnover is so high. It wouldn't be so high if they had this conversation up front and said, there's an opportunity for you when you no longer want to pay a 50-50 split because you're on my team to pay a 25% split for leads. Anyway, there's so many ways to monetize and help other agents who are growing their business and help you alleviate some time and not let leads slip through the cracks without taking on the brunt of running a team like you see other big teams doing, without essentially becoming a broker for agents, because that's what it feels like to me. I don't want my phone to ring off the hook. I'm looking for agents who close, 5 to 10 deals a year on their own that would like to get to 15 to 20, who I can send some extra business to, who know how to fill out a contract, who know the basics of real estate, who might call me in a tricky scenario, like I might call an agent friend to talk through something, but generally can function on their own in the business, and who I have seen have friendly interactions with other people, who I think have really good customer service tendencies on their own because that's their personality, and who want some extra leads and are willing to go out and take some extra appointments and pay me a 25% split, because that's what I would want. If I was going to take a lead from someone and I wanted extra business, I wouldn't want to pay someone 50% after 2 years in the business. I didn't want to pay someone 50% anymore, but I would pay someone 25% all day long for a lead. So it's just about thinking like, what would you want if you were in that scenario, and then creating an actual business system to plug people into your business and planning like you're the CEO of what you're building and what you're doing. Once I made that shift, like it changed everything really quickly, and consistently it has me thinking differently about how I run and operate my business. And it's like I went from kind of hitting a ceiling where I was going to just burn out for forever to now I have growth again. I have opportunity for growth again because I changed the way I thought about it, because someone told me to. Just like I'm like, hey, think about this. And someone had that conversation with me, and I saw it and it clicked, and it made a huge difference. So what are your guys' thoughts? What comments, questions do you have?
I love it. I think it's great. And I don't know, did you say you would share that with us?
Yeah. So let me make sure here. I think it's what is
While you're
remember my
looking that up,
websites.
Aaron,
Hold on. What, Taylor?
while you're looking that up, I really like it because for years and years and years, I've had this in my head that like teams, the word teams means a certain something in real estate, right? Whatever that was. But I've noticed the last 3 or 4 years that teams have totally changed how they do things. I've seen recently big producers go to teams, and you're like, well, why? That's kind of weird. But the team model today is so different than what it was 5, 10, 15 years ago. And so I'm glad that you spoke on all of this too, because
You cut out.
Did we lose him?
Willa.
You're cutting out.
Oh, sorry. Anyways, I just like how the team models are so different nowadays than they were years ago, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Okay,
Well,
go ahead, Joanna.
I was just going to say exactly the same thing, basically. I love that I mean, I've been trying to do an operations manual for years, and I've been offloading it to an assistant, and it doesn't get done. So this will be a great way for me to make sure it happens. And then secondly, what Taylor was saying and what you explained, I love, because I'm just like you, Aaron. I never wanted a team because I never wanted to deal with all the hassle and the mess and the training and the turnover and everything else that goes along with it. But this is definitely something I think I could do. Anyone could do it, couldn't they?
Absolutely. And
Totally.
it's already happening. It's just a matter of like grabbing it, because you're
Right.
already getting sign calls, and like you're already letting business slip through the cracks because you don't have time for the little stuff. Well, there's other agents that do. Why not monetize it for yourself? If you
Right.
made an extra $20,000 this year because you got referral fees, I mean, that's another bougie trip to Kauai. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or there's your entire marketing for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
All your
exactly.
client events.
Totally. You pay for all your marketing and it's really simple once you get it set up. It's really simple to be like, "Oh my gosh, like I'll show you okay, so the website, let me tell you this first. Expertagent.vip will take you to this website and then you want to go to this real estate team operations manual Canva template. And when you go to checkout, just use the code VIP, and you'll get it for free. So you don't need to pay for it. You'll just get it for free. And it's that
The
template
The code is VIP. The website is expertagent.vip.
.vip. Yep. So you'll
Okay.
get that for free. And it's a Canva template, which means you can put the template into your Canva and just edit it. You can change it to whatever you want it to be. Okay, so let me show you. So this listing right here, I have an open house for it tomorrow. It's only been on the market 5 days. It is a distressed property. It's not in good shape. It needs all new flooring, a new roof. It needs repairs in the walls. It's something that an investor would try to buy for like 100, 150 less than the value so that they could flip it and resell it. It's a divorce sale. And when I met with the husband and wife and talked about this, I said, I don't know what it's going to sell for. The resale on it once it's fixed up is like 600,000, but I know an investor would probably pay 400,000 for it. And the husband was willing to do a ton of work on the house to clean it out, get it cleaned up. It looks really good from what he's done. The photos turned out amazing, but like we as agents can see the living room. This is the day after he had the carpets cleaned. See the kitchen floor right here? Like you can't see, but there's holes in some of these walls. It's in rougher shape than these photos make it look. And I did a 3D tour, and the 3D tour, you can tell, even in this first area, you can tell it. See, this doesn't show up in the photos, but that's really reflective. Can you see that or not? That 3D tour?
I still just see the main page on the listing.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll show because I don't think it
Yeah.
should. But there's a 3D tour where you can really see the damage of the home. So I listed this on Sunday, and the sellers requested that we just do this one open house tomorrow for 3 hours. That's it. And so that's what we did. It's been on the market all week. It's listed at 450. We'll get multiple offers. It will sell for 450. I honestly don't know how much it will sell for. Maybe 475. I don't think it will go for over 500, even though homes in this neighborhood sell for more. This one needs a lot of repair. It's really not, and the basement's not finished. I have gotten more unrepresented buyer calls on this listing than I've gotten on a property since COVID. And I have talked to every single one of them. And I've turned this into, it's the best situation for my sellers. They love this plan. They love that they don't have to have much communication because they're already living separately and they're getting divorced. They love that they know they're going to get the highest price that a buyer is willing to pay for the home. They know that they're not going to have to show it a whole bunch. He doesn't want to show it a bunch. He loves the 3 hour open house. Real estate agents hate me right now over the way that this is structured, but it is the best thing for the sellers. And it's a genius move from a marketing perspective for what I'm doing with my business because I've gotten multiple leads. And tomorrow at the open house, I'll have sign-in sheets on a table out front. And if you want to come in the house, you've got to give me your name, your phone number, and you got to let me know if you're working with an agent. And I'm going to meet people tomorrow that I'm never going to work with. I'm going to plug them into my team. And then instead of letting all these people come through an open house that fall through the cracks, I've got a system set up to capture as many people as I can. And then they're going to go out to Shalyn on my team. They're going to go to Laura and they're going to go to Taylor. And all I'm going to do is send them the lead and they're going to follow through and they're following the same listings. Shalyn is new and she's just a showing agent. So I'll tell you what I'm doing with my showing agent. I set up a scale based off of what an hourly pay would look like, where if she shows 0 to 10 houses for a client, she gets 5% of the commission when we close. If she shows anything over 10 showings to a client, she gets 10%. And it's worth it for me to do that. I'm selective about who I have her show properties to. I don't have her show every client for me, but I have a client right now who their purchase price is 600,000. The houses they want to see are 25 minutes from where I live. And they're listing their home in Payson. I'm going to list their home in Payson, but I've not shown them one home And I've already written one offer that we lost out in a multiple offer situation, but Shalyn is showing them homes and I am more than happy to pay her. I'll end up paying her 10%. It's like $600, which works out to be about $60 an hour for her, which is great for her. She's a new agent. It's great for me because I might be paying her $600, but I would not want to show, it's not worth it to me to go show them that number of houses. They're going to be over 10 houses. And for the time I would have had to spend showing them homes, I would have hated every second of it. And I would have been miserable working with them. I called them and checked in with them yesterday to see how things are going with Shalyn, to see if they had any questions. It's worked out beautifully. But I can tell you that 2 years ago, I would have had anxiety giving up the control of all of this because I would have thought that they need me. They don't need me. They need me to be a leader. They don't need me to be at showings with them. These people don't. I'm listing their home. I'm the authority. They trust me. They feel like they have the leadership. And now I'm not even paying her a 25% referral fee to work with these buyers. I'm paying her 10% of my commission, and I'm keeping the bulk of the commission, and she's doing the bulk of the work, and she's thrilled because her other job is she's a teacher part-time and she has 2 little kids and she can make $600, and all she had to do was go out and show some homes, and she's learning from me, and her goal is to eventually stop teaching and be in real estate. And so it's a win-win for everyone when you can think like a CEO and get out of your own head as an agent. And if you are all of the value in your business, you can change it. You can change it so that your value is in your leadership, not in your presence of actually being there. And you will like it so much better. You will like it so much better once you make the shift.
Well, not only that, but your kids will, like everyone around you will, your nights, your weekends, like it frees up so much. And all of us, I think I can't see who's on, but all of us are, our age or so, we kind of want our weekends back or our nights back, and we're kind of burnt out. So it frees up a lot of time.
I like the way you said that, Aaron, that the buyers don't need us to show them the home, but they do need us to be a leader. And we can do that by letting go of a few of these time-consuming tasks and still being the leader, reaching out like you're doing, just to make sure, Shalyn or your showing agent is doing her job.
For sure. And I will get on Zoom with Shalyn once a week. I had to show her how I set up showings. I have had to train her. I've had to teach her things, and I am mentoring her, but it's a 30-minute call once a week and maybe a 10-minute Zoom. It's not a lot of time, and she's not coming into the office. Leverage Zoom, leverage the technology that we have that's simple to use, and leverage it with your buyers too. Get them on a Zoom call and talk to them about things. Show them how you look at a home on the MLS versus how they look at a home on the MLS. Take them through the photos, show them what you notice that they don't notice, and start teaching them from the proximity of your desk and free up time for you, because it actually, with these younger buyers especially, it makes you look like a better agent than other agents because they are tech savvy and they want to use Zoom, they want to use technology. So they want to work with someone who is showing up for them the way they're showing up in business,